Our world thinks that self-esteem isn't that big of a problem, but nobody realizes that self-esteem causes so many problems for teenagers everywhere, especially girls. Our society doesn't know how big of a negative impact low self-esteem in girls really has. Over the years, girls' self-esteem has gotten worse, and as the years go on, girls are starting to feel more self-conscious about themselves at younger ages. In 2008, over 11,000 sexual assaults of girls under the age of 18 were reported in Canada. Since only about 10% of assaults are reported, the actual number is way higher. This can cause very low self-esteem. Girls who feel self-conscious choose to back out of any sports or physical activity that could show off their body. A recent study by the Dove Self-Esteem Project reveals that 47% of girls between the ages of 11 and 14 refuse to take part in activities that will show off their bodies in any way, like swimming or dance. Because of low self-esteem problems in girls, there are studies showing that girls are starting to obtain mental illnesses. Teenage girls are 3 times more likely than boys to suffer from depression due to their low self-esteem. It's no secret that the media has a huge impact on girls' self-esteem. Celebrity culture magazines, television, movies, and the internet all promote unrealistic expectations about what your bodies should look like, which is causing more teenage girls to feel self-conscious. Our community doesn't notice how much lowering self-esteem really affects young girls everywhere. 75% of girls with low self-esteem reported engaging in negative activities like cutting, bullying, smoking, drinking, or eating disorders. This compares to 25% of girls with high self-esteem. Not only that, teen suicide is the 3rd leading cause of death amongst young people in the world. 50% of those suicides are caused by low self-esteem. Girls' self-esteem is not an individual problem, but a social issue. That means we need to work extra hard to help fix it. There are so many ways to improve girls' self-esteem that many people don't know about. Some examples are support groups. There are many organizations all over Canada. You could talk to trusted family or friends to help you through it. Take part in different activities with family and friends to help you increase your self-esteem. Change the way the media looks. Girls everywhere see magazines and pictures of models with unrealistic pictures of their bodies. Young girls think they need to look like that too. And finally, one of the easiest ways to improve self-esteem is to spread awareness for girls who are scared of being judged. I decided to ask some questions to my friends about girls' self-esteem. Question 1. In your opinion, what causes girls' low self-esteem?
I think that what causes low self-esteem in girls is a lot of bullying, stereotypes in media, because as we all know, there's a stereotype that girls can't play sports or girls aren't strong. And if that's what a girl wants to be, if she wants to be an athlete or play sports, I think that probably gets in her head a lot and makes her think that she is weak and can't do anything like that. But that's not true, and if that's what she loves to do, then she has to be able to know how to do that.
In my opinion, low self-esteem is caused in girls by the media. That's probably the biggest one. And peers. The media is because online, girls feel the need to wear makeup and be sexy, wear tight clothes, but that's not necessary to be pretty.
Question 2. Do you compare yourself to female images in the media?
I think I used to compare myself to female images in media and girls on magazine covers and stuff, but now I'm a lot more confident and I don't worry about that. Like, I'm happy the way I am. And the thing is that a lot of the time, those music videos and magazine covers and things, they're so photoshopped, so that's not real.
I do not compare myself to images, female images in the media, because it's stupid. I don't want to be sexy. I'm in grade 8. I don't need to be sexy. I am beautiful just the way I am.
Question 3. What is something you do that makes you feel confident?
Something I do that makes me feel confident is being really loud, and it is probably really annoying to other people, but it makes me happy and it makes me laugh, and if it draws attention to me, that just makes me laugh even more.
Something I do that makes me feel confident is my humor. When I make a joke or say something funny and people laugh, it makes me feel really good about myself. It makes me feel like people actually like me. Another thing I do is cry. Now, the crying part isn't as much of the confidence, but after crying, sometimes you just kind of gotta let it out.
Question 4. Does being with your friends make you feel more confident?
Being with my friends does make me feel confident because I can do those stupid loud things with them, because I think they are all fairly confident people too, and when we're all loud together, it just makes me really happy.
Being with my friends makes me feel confident because they aren't influenced by media. They don't feel the need to always be beautiful. Some days you just don't want to take the time to do makeup. I get that. And I love it. It makes me feel happier when my friends aren't wearing makeup.
Question 5. What's your advice to someone who wants to boost their self-esteem?
My advice to someone who wants to boost their self-esteem is probably to shut out all those judging people and all those stereotypes and people who have maybe bullied them in the past, because I used to not be as confident as I am now. And I just kind of went through a phase and I just kind of shut everyone out for a bit and just did what made me happy.
Some advice I would give to someone who wants to boost their self-esteem is, as I said, don't hang out with bad people. They're mean, they're gonna just bring you down. It's not, if you don't have a mental attachment because they're mean, it's not gonna be that hard to not be friends with them anymore because they're bullies.
Thank you to everyone who answered these questions for me. It was much appreciated. I also decided to ask a few questions to my new friend, Kim Tackaberry from the GLOW program.
Hi Rebecca, it's Kim Tackaberry, the founder of GLOW, joining you via video. GLOW stands for Girls Leading Others Wisely, and we've been around for over a decade now, and we were so excited to hear about your project. So I'm going to begin by answering your first question, and I'll do little mini videos. The first question you posed was, how do you think we could improve how the media displays women and girls? And I think we're doing it. You're doing it. Let's talk about it. Let's make sure that we analyze it and we critically view it and encourage girls as young as 6 to say, that's not okay. And I am just so excited about the announcement out of France, as they are the leading fashion country in the world, stating that they are no longer going to allow companies to retouch photos without labeling it. And that's a start. It's been a long time coming, but that's one step. And we need to, as a group, men and women, make a really strong statement that it's not okay that retouching is being done, and it's definitely not okay that we are portraying that women and men should look one specific way. Rebecca, thank you so much for sending me the video related to the Harvard women's soccer team. It was very powerful and very inspiring, and I had not seen it before. So we will definitely to complement your project, we will post that on all of our Glow forums. So thank you. To elaborate on that, you asked about how would this help girls' self-esteem, and I think it goes back to the answer to your first question, is talking about it. Let's talk about it. One of the girls on the women's soccer team states enough is enough already, and it is. We need to make and support people in being accountable to their words. And for the Harvard men's soccer team to state and label and stereotype the women players by the way they look, by sexual terms, is unacceptable. So the letter they wrote was phenomenal, and it was action, and action speaks much louder than words. Rebecca, to answer your final question, I have to admit I'm going to have to cheat a little bit, because you start your question with, without doing research, what do you think the biggest causes of girls' low self-esteem would be? And after a decade of work in the area of girls' self-esteem and confidence and girls' leadership, it is really difficult for me not to speak to it. So I'm actually going to go right to it. And what I'd like to share is 6 common themes, core themes actually, that we can give thought to in terms of developing programs or working with girls around this concern. So the first one, we know that friendships and family, positive, healthy friendship, family connections have an immense impact, and lots of in-person conversations and taking time to talk about this idea of what is realistic, what is a realistic body image. Secondly is talking about appearance, and one note that I've always admired is compliment people on their behavior. Let's move away from complimenting them on how they look. So in lieu of saying, wow, your hair looks fantastic, you can comment on something. You know, I really appreciated it yesterday when you sent me that text and asked me if I was okay and checked up on me. I really appreciated that. You know, so moving away from appearance focused. The other is respecting yourself, and I know that we do a lot of work in that area in terms of Glow, is learning about who you authentically are and learning about your values. And once you do that, then you have somewhere to go to when you're uncertain about what you see or uncertain about a certain behavior. Right? So you need that benchmark to support you. And then talking specifically about competing and comparing looks. You know, our society is so based on looks. So can we have conversations about comparing yourself to someone else your age? We are all beautifully different. We're all beautifully unique, and let's celebrate it. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Even though self-esteem isn't one of those worldwide problems like world hunger, it doesn't mean it can be ignored. There are girls all over Canada who are suffering, but are keeping it a secret because they are scared to be judged. The only way we can improve the social issue is to work together and inform people that this is a terrible problem for girls.